Okay, we've looked at how I enter things in cells, how I make them wider, how I make them bold, how I put boxes around them, how I can enter text, how I can enter numbers, and how I can enter formulas. You know something's a formula. Excel knows it's a formula because of this kind of structure. An equal sign on the front, a word which says what sort of formula it's supposed to be, and then a bunch of maths inside brackets to say, here is what I want you to do with that formula. This last video for the basics of Excel is going to look at how do I make a simple graph. The first graph we're going to make is just going to look at a comparison of the days and how many hours you studied on each day. If you highlight the stuff you want to graph, days of the week, I'm clicking and dragging, and how many hours on each day, you can just highlight it. These are the labels, this is the data, and if I go insert, a column graph is the right kind of graph for this data. We'll talk more about graphs later. A simple 2D graph will be fine. It creates a graph which shows you for each day of the week how many hours were studied on each day. If I were to talk about improving this graph, I'd be saying things like this. What does Series 1 mean? Now, it's got a bit of blue and that stuff's all blue, which is kind of saying, well, Series 1 is the blue stuff. It means the data you're looking at is blue, but that label doesn't say anything helpful. If you right-click a label and click on Select Data, you're able to say, where does it get the data to name the series? I can click on Series there, and I can click on Edit, and it says, all right, what should this series be called? Now I'm going to name it myself. I could click on a box and it would pick it up from there, but I'm just going to call this, actually I'll just click A1 because it's the day of the week, isn't it? And it says, all right, on this sheet in cell A1 is a label. Click OK, and then OK, and now what it's done is it's stuck a label at the top and a little label there. It's copied the series label to be a heading for the whole graph. I'm going to click there as well, and click again, and I'm going to change this to say something a bit more thorough. Oops. Hours studied each day. And there's a simple graph. Sometimes you want to graph things which aren't right next to each other. It's easy when I could just click and drag the data and they're right next to each other, but what if you wanted to graph the days and the dollars? Here's how you do it. Click and highlight the days, so they're selected. I've let go of the mouse now, so I can move my mouse around. I'm holding down the Control button, and now I'm clicking the next lot of data. So the days are still blue. This data has gone blue as well. I did click the 10 as well. I've clicked and dragged all of that and all of that. And once again, I'm going Insert, Column, 2D column, and now what it's done a similar graph. I'll get this one out of the way. A similar graph, but instead of having hours studied on the left, it's now grabbed dollars, and it said, here's how many dollars you made on each day. Once again, we'd better go and fix up this series label. Right-click the series label, select the data from somewhere, Series 1. That's the one I need to edit. I'm going to edit that label. I'm going to click on there, because it's showing the days. No, this time let's just type it. Let's type dollars per day. And click OK. And OK. And it's labelled the series, it's labelled the graph, and you've made a nice simple graph. Now you've probably guessed that you can make the graph more interesting. You've got all these different chart layouts, and you can, with a graph, if I right click it, change the chart type. You guys will probably like, things which I'm going for a 3D clustered cylinder. That looks like fun. And you can make the graphs look a bit different if you want to. So, simple process of grabbing data and graphing it now. Have a look at the next video for how I want you to use this within our design process work.